Good afternoon, returning to the 17-acre plot that features in my last video last week. Since then I've had a short foray where I found 5 items. This afternoon we're looking for anything that could possibly link to the purported landing stage that the local history society have detailed. Should be close to here somewhere. You'll see in the background there, behind me to my left, is where the sea used to come in. Right, hardly walked 10 yards and got 24 here at full depth. Yeah, the Vanquish tends to, with the largest coil, doesn't always produce accurate pinpoints. Right, we're on it, he says, but I'm having issues with the pinpointer because I had a slight crack, hairline crack in the end of it, which I epoxied, but it does seem some water's got inside, which is not surprising given how much rain we've had. We'll have to do what we can. It is. I don't know what that is. I think that's just a crumpled washer, unfortunately, but it's made of copper, so it gave a strong signal. Right, hey ho, on to number 2. Right, hole number 2 is a 10. Bearing in mind the scale on this is -9 to +40. Right, it's in the clod. So it's obviously something quite small and shallow. It's in the grass. It was pretty shallow, so I think that's the end of a shotty. No, it's not. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but let's go around to the light a bit more. Turns out it says GVR, George V Rex, so 1910 to 36, a military lapel badge. A 19, which I fully expect to be a 303 because this was used as a rifle target. Not sure in which war, but been told that by the landowner. So this little patch here has produced quite a few of those 303s. I think it's out. Yeah, it is out. Probably what was stuck to that piece of rubber, isn't it? That's another this, which I'm told on my hub is exploded ordnance. Got ridges all down the inside. I don't know if you can see that, but another piece of exploded ordnance. 19 or 20. It is in the bank again, near to where the target practice targets were. So it may be a bullet. Down there about 8 inches. Oh, there it is. It's a bullet, unfortunately. A dome-shaped bullet. Now, I believe these are Remington .38 handgun revolver bullets. Big old toadstools. That's my 12-inch coil, just to give you a perspective. There is unfortunately EMI all around. I don't know if you can hear it. To the sort of, excuse the car noise by the way, put up with that. I don't know where it's coming from. 12, 15, 50% on the depth stakes, so it's going to be shallow, he says, or large, and all the other. We think that's a horseshoe. Yeah, another giant horseshoe.
I found another one on my last session by the dike there.
Jumpy signal. 21:27. Oh, no, it was after the hole. It wasn't so deep then. What we got? Piece of lead. What's that iron? Can't immediately see anything. So it's probably just a shattered weight. Maybe used for measuring out grain or something. But yeah, looks just like a weight of some description. This has got a broken 15 or 17. Seem to be close to it. So down there it's, well, you can see there, can you, 9 inches. There it is, piece of iron, unfortunately. I don't know what that is. Sorry. Head of a bolt or something. Yeah, 23. Ah, what have we? Is that a coin? Yeah. What have we got? As I say, the pH levels are quite high in this field, so is that an old threepence? I think it might be. I think that's going to be an old threepence. In the 50s or something. Well, it's Elizabeth anyway. We'll get a date off it later, but yeah, with the polygonal.
Right, here I'm contending with quite a bit of VMI, unfortunately.
So, to find a veritable signal, you've got to be very patient with this indeed. This is where the landing stage was alleged to be. I've got a signal which is 17. Yep, it's iron for sure. And it's a bit of iron pipe, they are. Nothing to write home about. Right, I've got 20 in amongst a sea of iron detritus, which is basically, I just think, plonked here by the farmers because it's a hollow. A rotted tin end. Not found any evidence of a landing stage, but we've got something here. It could be iron because it's jumping -4 and 22. What is it? That's rubbish, isn't it?
If you remember, I found one of these in the last video. At first it was thought they were Roman when I put it on the hub, but someone pointed out that the way in which it's torn apart suggests that it's part of a munition, ordnance in other words. It seems to be made of pewter and it has something copper up the centre, so we're thinking detonator. Very old one.
It's I think made of something like pewter. It might be copper alloy, but I don't know if you can see there. It's got some age to it, definitely. Make of those. Could be ordnance. So this crunchy 18 to 25 tone appears to be on the sidewall if the pinpointer would behave itself. It's still quite deep. Gone off target, so it's probably iron. Which I can see it is. Yeah. Great big. But anyway, we'll clean it up later. 25, but a lot of shimmer. Full depth again. Oh, it's come out. That's good. That's a bullet, I can see it. Pretty sure, yeah. 50 cal bullet, unfortunately. It's hit something pretty damned hard. See? Whack. No 14. Full depth. Bit of. I think it may be in the spoil. It is. It's in the spoil. What do we got? Yeah, it is a piece of lead. God knows what. Just, I think that's a fairly nondescript strip of lead. Another. $18 to 21 full depth. Maybe another piece of lead. Actually, strange. Oh yeah, I can see a coin. There we are. You get some sort of idea. Is that Victoria? Very muddy here. Caught it with a spade, unfortunately, but I think it's just an absolutely worn out either Victorian or Edwardian halfpenny. I think that's what it is. I can't see anything at all on that. It's pingy 13 halfway down the slope. It's really shallow, whatever it's going to be. Probably a ring pool or something. Right, great iron object. I think we'll dig it just for fun. Have a listen. Max depth, -4. A foot maybe. Oh, wow, is that it? What is it? I think that's a hinge.
So it started to get dark and I called a halt. Fairly short session, but the evenings are drawing in and I'd done a shorter session, which is included here previously last week. Right, so here we are, about 15 targets dug today. The 5 in the centre here are in that interim, were dug during that interim session last week.
I did say at the beginning of the video these were pewter buttons, but looking more closely at them, I think they're imitations. I'm pretty sure that they're modern imitations, because it appears that this one in particular is made of alloy rather than pewter. So although the original ones had arsenic added to them to make them more silver, I think those are alloy buttons. This here, I said in the last video, was Victorian. Well, they produced snake buckles from about 1820 to about 1920 and later. It's hard to say exactly what date. I've looked at World War I examples. One was general issue. They were produced as general issue for the military between about 1880 and 1920. I don't know which one this is. Some of them are described as having a swan neck. So although they're generally snake buttons, or snake buckles I should say, sorry, some of them are swans. The Girl Guides badge is a 1960s example, I do believe, from what I can make out, and what's written on the back. This Spitfire, very, very beaten up Spitfire, is Crescent Toys, and I think they produced lead soldiers in the 40s and 50s, so it's got Crescent written on the back. It's probably from that era. I've got 5 bits of iron. That I think is a knuckle hinge. I did at first think, rather hopefully, it was a cleat for a boat, but I've looked at cleats and none of them seem to conform to that shape, so I think that's a very rusty hinge, unfortunately. Various other bits of undiscernible iron, some of which is probably quite old, but without any decoration or anything discernible, it's impossible to say. 2 coins. You saw me dig those. 1960, I think that's 1963, that threepenny piece. 3 pence for those who aren't used to the terminology. And that's a George I think that's a George III, it's undiscernible. Halfpence or halfpenny. 2 bullets, a 50 cal that's hit something very hard. Aluminium bit of tin. And 3 bits of unusual ordnance. It was thought at first these could be very old items. I put them on the hub, and it's because of the way they've ruptured, we now think that they're detonators. But they're made of pewter, so they're very old. Probably went on the end of the nose of a shell. There's a pin or something going through the centre. And another piece of ordnance. It was suggested, something that's exploded. World War I seems to be the prevailing theme at this site. Oh wait, no, that could be old. It's cut in half or broken in half. It had something ironed through it. Maybe connected to the mill. And another piece of lead that has nothing on it. And that's it. Thanks once again for watching. I had hoped to find something more ancient at this site, but there's always another opportunity to go back. It may be that the older stuff is buried deeper. I'll post up the pictures now, and thanks for watching. Give us a subscribe if you want to continue to follow my progress. Bye for now.